Hello, hello, hello. It's time to go back to old school streams. Let's date hot people! Hey! And also be awesome. That's the other thing that we're gonna be doing, is being awesome. Hey, Sunshine! Hey, Cece! Hello, 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 how are you? Hey, Saren! Hey, Zen! Happy birthday! Happy birthday! What is it? Happy birthday from all of us to you. We wish it was our birthday so we could party too? That's vaguely selfish. Happy birthday to you. Something like that. Yay! This is not the person we're dating. This is us. We're just amazing. Also, hey, Saren. Nice. I think I already said hi. Listen, I'm very tired today. I did not take my nap. So we'll see how long I last. I 100% forgot to tweet this out. Let me tweet it out. Let's date hot princes. Princes! It's interesting that Twitch like never updates the title on Twitter when you post it. It still says wholesome slimes from like 3 streams ago. Hey Lily! Hey Revis! You didn't mean the first emote. Yeah, you know, yeah, everyone's been super tired. I think everyone's been super tired because everybody's been either working or back in school, you know, and nobody's fully adjusted yet. Hey Glacier. So since nobody's fully adjusted, everybody's like vaguely tired. We're not used to either lack of sleep or just waking up early or whatever it is that we're all doing. Or in your case, both. Pursue your studies. Be happy. Something like that. My day was very swell. It was actually a really good day today. I had a very good day today. Nothing in particular happened. I made some friends at work. I got one of my work friends gave me a cookie. Like, it was a pretty good day. That's awesome, Glacier. Gotta wait for January. Ooh, good luck. Yeah, work friends and cookies. That's how you know work is going well, when your friend comes back from Panera and is like, I got too many cookies, take my cookies. You're like, I found a good place to work. I get free cookies. Oh, wow, Ice. Man. Good luck. Sounds like a fun time, though. Hi, Zach. Makes going to work easier? The cookies or the work friends? Or both? It definitely does. It definitely does. Today I actually violated dress code because I wasn't dressed professionally enough. And so I was a little bit embarrassed because they called me out about it. But, like, all of my work buddies were like, you look fine, I think you look great. And I was like, oh, okay, I feel good now. It's fine. I totally understand, Lobster. Don't even worry. I feel you. I feel you on that. I am not even insulted. No, it is not Seduce Me the Otome, man. This is another... Okay, so this is actually... Okay, for people who've been in the stream for a little bit, this is called The Royal Trap, The Confines of the Crown, and it's by Hanako Games, whom you might remember from Magical Diary Horse Hall, which is a game that we played where slime was born. So that's pretty important. I think she also did A Little Lily Princess, which was the one with the little girls who were like best friends, and Sarah and those mean girls. I don't know if you remember that. We went to a boarding school and then bad stuff happened. And I think that might be all of the ones that of hers that we've played so far. But it's Hanako Games. Also, Long Live the Queen, if you know what that is. It's Hanako Games. She's one of my favorite VN developers because her characters are always really good. So, that being said, I have it, CC. I have it, it's in a pile. I accidentally put too many books on hold at the library, and then I got like 9 of them at once, and they're all due on the 31st. So I think I've read maybe 3 or 4 of them. I'm churning through slowly. I'm getting there. Only 1 week till Asagao. Am I nervous? I forgot that I was gonna do this before the stream, and then I got very distracted by something silly. I should have done this before. I was gonna make the Asagao poll. Here's a question. You guys might know the answer. Is Google Forms, making a poll with Google Forms, or straw poll better, would you think, to have this? Because I would like to have the poll now, have it so just the stream people can vote at first, and then on Tuesday open it up to like the greater world, so you guys can get your stuff in as a head first. Hey Jabuda. Jaboda? I did get very distracted by Hot Boys. Straw poll? Yeah, I'm not sure, because the straw poll doesn't let you vote multiple times, but I'm not sure which one is better for preventing people from cheating, basically. Looks at Maya, who's not here. Well, nobody knows anything about Google Poll. Okay, here's what I can do. I can use straw poll right now, and then if I change my mind, I can just add the... No, well, no, that's kind of a bad idea. Whatever, I'll use straw poll for right now. Okay. Which Asagao route should Cara play? Let's see, Jared... Paul/continue, PBG, Gerard, Hidden/Jacques. I don't even remember all of the routes that there are. I'm bad. There's more, right? Oh wait, no, because I'm leaving 2 out and then Satch. And I think that's everybody because I'm not counting John or Shane. Right? I made the game. I'm not sure. What's happening? Google's my own game. Asagao Academy. How many boys are in Asagao Academy? Tell me, Google. Yeah, I got them all. I know my own game. Hey Connor. Hey Snorp. We're not doing John because I feel like if I do John, people are just gonna, Oh, I see. Ah, so I can choose things. I see. Yep. We're not doing John because I feel like if we do John, people are just gonna yell at me, they're just gonna want to talk about the controversy, and I don't want to do that. And we're not doing Shane because I didn't write Shane's route. So there's the poll. Bam, bam, bam. It's a secret. It's just for the stream for right now. The stream and Asagao poll and the Discord. There we go. I mean, he can try. Many reasons for not, John. He can try if he wants to. I welcome the challenge, but also he doesn't have to. Listen, I just didn't write his route. I just didn't write his route. It's unfortunate that we're doing this while Maya is not here because I kind of feel like Maya would explode. Maya says, just because she's not here, Maya says, vote for Paul. A lot. I actually really wonder how it's gonna go. Oh wow, is that how it's go? Okay. Listen, I have no opinions on which one wins. I have no opinions or preferences. I'm just saying, okay, cool. Anyways, let's play the game now. It's enough dilly-dallying with me. I convinced you. Yeah, Glacier. Oscar's hair never behaves. He tried to grow it out 2 years ago, but he gave up long before reaching the adventurous man's ponytail he was hoping to achieve. Instead of gently bouncing waves, he got lank clumps that brushed his cheeks and made him fidget like a pup with fleas. In the end, it irritated him enough that he stole the shears while I was away and shaved his head near bald, at least in the places he could reach. Then he sulked when I showed him a mirror. We hid him from the public for months after that. But now his hair reflects his nature. Sweet, rumpled, and unruly, a clumsy little boy in the body of a young man. Do I look all right? You look fine, my lord. Why do you keep calling me that? You never did before. We just started, and the art is already really good. Listen, I love Hanako games. I'm just throwing that out there. I recommend all of the games of hers I've played, I've liked, so I can recommend them. That's all I'm saying. Well, he's a prince. We can't damage his reputation in that way. We've never been in a foreign palace before, my lord. It is important that we make a good impression on your potential bride. That means no making eyes at the royal chefs to get an extra pastry. You know your place, and I know mine. You must maintain dignity. Right up until I choke on my own foot like I always do. Well, when you're wedded, you'll have a wisdom to rely on. Only if I actually do find a princess willing to have me. Your wife could still be wise and wealthy, even if she isn't a king's wisdom. If I married you, I would have a wise wife. And then you'd starve to death. You are not allowed to try and make a silk purse out of me just because you're afraid you won't impress Princess Cassidy. My lord. There, see, you were doing better for a second. I can't do this alone, Maddie, and you can't give me proper advice if you're too busy bowing to keep your eyes open. I give in and stick my tongue out at him in a most undignified manner. Hey, kitten! I know, how can you rule without perfect hair? Everybody knows that perfect hair is where all of the good decisions come from. There's my girl. Don't say that. People will get the wrong idea. Which wrong idea? That we're something more than friends. Which we're not, and we never will be. I know. Help me with the belt? Yes, my lord. Prince Oscar of Osendawir of that place is something close to my best friend. He's also my employer, or the son of my employer. Depending on... Hey, Golan. Thanks. Depending on how you look at it. More importantly, he is my responsibility, one that I will not fail. I was born Miss Madeleine Valois, daughter of of a cadet branch of an insignificant noble house. To my misfortune, I was also born the second daughter, and as such, what little wealth and prestige remained in our line was settled upon my sister. There was simply not enough to divide between us and leave us any pretense of gentility. Thus, I was raised to be my sister's shadow, her replacement in case of disaster, and to have nothing of my own. I was taught to be silent and supportive and never to disgrace my family by displaying my own desires. Thank you so much, Cece. You heard a cat hiss. I definitely don't have a cat. Oh, hey, sheep. If I had learned my lessons well enough, I might be there still. Instead, my greatest mistake became my only opportunity. This art is very pretty. I was in the first rush of adolescence at the time, enjoying the freedom to run with longer legs. My family were attending court, making conversation with people far too important for the presence of a child who was heir to nothing. I was ordered to stay in our rooms, unseen and unheard, and wait patiently for their return. But I wanted a mid-afternoon snack, and I was tired of waiting. I came up with a plan that involved leading my governess on a false trail while I lifted the keys from a careless steward and wriggled my way into the palace cellars. Vigad26, thank you for following and enjoy your apprenticeship. There I discovered that I was not the first child to mount an expedition for sweets. A blond boy, his face streaked with tears, had managed to trap his hand between the planks of an old crate. It fell to me to calm him down and work out a plan to get him free and unharmed, and both of us out of there without being caught. If I had known he was a prince, I might have been more successful. I thought his family, like mine, wouldn't want to raise a fuss or admit that anything had gone wrong. Instead, my escape route led us straight into the path of his parents' frantic searching. Even then, I tried to protect him. My mother was horrified at what I'd done. She would have had me whipped and confined to my room on bread and water for a week. The king of Osendoir saw things differently, saw in me someone who could keep up with his youngest son's mischief and get him out of trouble safely. Thus, I received a royal appointment as the valet of the young Prince Oscar, his companion, his maidservant, his advisor, and his agent. For the first time in my life, I had a place that belonged to me. I've studied for him, trained and fought for him. If necessary, I am expected to give my life for him. I will not fail. Now that Oscar's reaching adulthood, he must find a bride willing to give control of her ancestral lands to him. I would not say it and discourage him, but I don't expect it to be these lands. Gwelinor is a large and powerful kingdom, and the competition is likely to be fierce. I've never met Princess Cassidy, but I know she's quite young. She's certainly under no obligation to choose a husband in a hurry. This occasion is only the beginning of a long process for all of us. Still, her debut is a small and prestigious gathering, and it was good fortune that Oscar received an invitation. Here he will gain experience in dealing with royal women who are not his relations, so that he can achieve a good marriage in the future. That is my final purpose, to prepare him and polish him, to make of him a man whom a princess could trust with her heart and her home. If no one wishes him for a husband, then all these years have been wasted. I'll be sent home in disgrace, a nothing, a worse than nothing. And yet, if he is chosen, then he'll become a king, the master of a territory far from his birth, and he'll leave me behind. What happens to me then? I can't let my worries about the future distract me. I have to focus on Oscar and everything that's happening right now. No matter what happens, I will stay in control. I won't let anyone down. Not my family, not Oscar, and not myself. Hey, King! Hey, King of Archers, thank you for subscribing, and welcome to the fold. Since you have subscribed, you now also have access to the stream Discord, so if you have your Twitch linked with your Discord, you can do that. Also, hey, Pony! I don't know, Zem. What do you think? The king has arrived. You showed up at a very good game for this. Your collection of Discords. I think you're ready. Are you coming? You're allowed to attend the presentation, just not the ball. Of course. I need to see your competition. Good. Madeleine? Yes? I want you to know, I really appreciate everything you do for me. Guys? 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 What do you think? How nice do you want to be to him? How much do we want to date him so far? Middle. Appreciate him. You guys are very fond of him already. Okay. Literally everybody says, okay. Oh, except for 2H. 2H's like, no. I appreciate you too. Well, we already put a belt on him, so. I feel the same way about you, my lord. You do? Of course. I couldn't have asked for a better employer. Right. Okay. He lets out a slow breath and shakes his head. Well, I suppose we should go. The presentation hall of the Kingdom of Guelinor is not so much larger than that of my homeland, but the decorations seem more ornate, the jewels more lustrous. Perhaps it is only the dazzle of unfamiliarity. I've never crept along these walls on secretive errands, nor been forced to polish them as punishment. Only 3 foreign princes are present for these festivities. According to court gossip, 5 were invited, but one politely declined, and the other, somewhat less politely, refused to attend any event which involved Prince Nizagi. Therefore, this debut becomes an intimate affair, and might appear that much more advantageous for those present. But the central focus of this event is the princess herself. Employers owned. We literally just showed up. You were right at the beginning, Pony. Her Enlightened Highness, the Princess Cassidy. She walks into the room with poise, her head held high, then hesitates, looking rapidly back and forth over the assembled personages before continuing to her assigned position. She cannot acknowledge anyone here until they have been formally announced, of course, but no one could blame her for indulging in a moment's curiosity. Guelinor's heir has been famously kept in a cloistered existence until now, out of fear for her health. She might never have seen so many strangers at once. Hello, nurse. I know, she's really pretty. Whoa, Kitten doesn't trust her. Cece? We were the one to put the belt on him. We know how to get him out of it. Cece, I mean, I know what you were trying to say, but that definitely sounds like something else. As we are gathered in celebration of her anniversary, the princess must have only the barest blush of 18 years, younger even than Oscar. Yet her face holds more maturity than her years would allow. She looks closer to my age, some 2 or 3 years older. Determining a woman's age is always an inexact science, and a noble woman's more so. In her youth, my mother was often mistaken for younger than she was, due to her chagrin, and forced to disguise herself with paints and artifice to give the correct impression. This trait, like so much else, she did not pass to me. Now that the princess is in place, the guests can be announced. Minimum 4 belts to be boyfriend material. His Royal Highness, the Prince Gaston. The Prince of Bardoin is a golden barrel of a man, his curls as gleaming as the buckles on his shoes, and every conceivable place in between. So broad are his shoulders that I imagine if startled, his mighty arms would tear right through his glittering wardrobe. I do not envy his tiring woman. With brisk strides, he crosses the hall, stopping neatly at the minimum distance from the princess that propriety will permit, and sweeps a dramatic bow. And the chat goes nuts. Oh my god. It is my greatest pleasure to be in the presence of such a rare flower as your highness. Thank you. In honor of your anniversary, I present you with this rare Tapuchin essence. May its scent bring you joy. He offers her a bottle of faceted dark glass, capped with gold, which she takes with interest. A perfume! What does it smell like? The servant beside her makes a quick chopping gesture with her hand. I shouldn't open that here. Thank you, Prince Gaston, and welcome to Guelinor. She hands the bottle to an attendant who sets it aside. Prince Gaston bows his head, then steps aside for the next presentation. His Royal Highness, the Prince Nizagi. Ooh, so silky. The Prince of Asenath is a slender, sharp-featured man attired in the finest silks, which glide soundlessly along the floor as he walks. His delicacy and refined appetites are well known, as are the rumors of his less appealing qualities. His is not a warm face. The narrow eyes, the elegant nose, the thin lips, all seem crafted for expressions of cruelty. I'm not a flighty scullion to believe everything I hear. I find it entirely likely that it is his appearance which gives rise to such tales and not any actions the prince has taken. Still, I would be cautious if I found myself alone with him. Steal his clothes. He's your fave so far? Does it count as a belt? I don't know, does it? Approaching the princess, he bows with his hands at his sides. Gracious Highness, you do me much honor with your invitation. I only hope my humble gifts can convey my gratitude. He snaps his fingers, and a servant rushes forward to present the princess with bundles of blue and purple silk. You are very kind, Prince Nozaki. Be welcome. Prince Nozaki bows a second time, then steps backward, retreating without ever turning his back on the princess. And then it is our turn. His Royal Highness, the Prince Oscar. He may not be the most elegant in the room, but Oscar is a prince nonetheless. He walks with confidence, then presses his hand to his chest and bows with one foot sliding respectfully back. Your Highness, I thank you for granting me the opportunity to meet you and to convey my good wishes in person. I bring you the gift of a flower that will never fade. He holds up a blue velvet presentation box containing a brooch in the shape of a rose, its petals encrusted with jewels. It's lovely, thank you. She seems honestly pleased, and his answering grin is equally sincere. Had he stopped there, he would have left an excellent impression. I also wrote you a poem. Would you like to hear it? Oh no. As fairest maid to fairest day can wish the darkest cares away, as fish and frog shall meet and laugh upon the golden seed and chaff. The servant behind the princess clears her throat audibly. Perhaps you could tell it to me later. I mustn't keep everyone waiting. Oh, right. Well, joyeux anniversary. With a parting bow, Oscar backs away, and thus the presentation of the three princes is concluded. He's an idiot! Oh, hello. There is, however, a fourth prince in the palace. He is Prince Callum, the youngest living son of the King of Guelinor, and still a bachelor. Wink. The sour expression on his face does him no favors. I wonder if he looks that way all the time, or if it's just the presence of his competitors that curdles his stomach. Some men are like that. All princes are his competition. Not for Princess Cassidy, of course, but for any other heir he might hope to win. Any prince can marry a princess if she chooses him. Birth order makes no difference. A man rises or falls by his charms and his ambition. Charm has to be Oscar's strength, because ambition never was. I suppose that's my fault. It was hard to teach him to want more when life seemed so happy as it was. His arms scare you. The servants beside Princess Cassidy rings a silver handbell. At that delicate tone, Princess Cassidy clasps her hands together and smiles at us all. In the name of my mother, wise Paloma, I bid you all welcome to Guelinor. May your visits be filled with joy. With those words, she withdraws from our company. Formal dinner will begin in 1 hour. At your convenience, please assemble in the drawing room for aperitifs. I know, can we? The invitation is extended to the assembled dignitaries, of course, and does not include attendants such as myself. We will feed upon the leavings of the feast while they and the local nobility are at the ball. I have no true desire to attend a royal ball. Glittering costumes and skilled musicians create a wonderful atmosphere, but the need to maintain a perfect appearance through hours of socializing on your feet must spoil it. Certainly Oscar always complains. I expect we servants have far more fun spying on the activities of our masters. Yes, we. I'm hardly alone in my more clandestine skills. Clandestine? Whatever. Every palace has its secrets, and people whose role it is to find them, or bury them. Every noble needs tasks done on the quiet now and then, and some treasures are more closely guarded than sweets in a cellar. As the gathering dissolves, Oscar touches my arm and takes me aside. Well, what do you think? Did she like me? She appears to like everyone. Be serious. In terms of gifts, she clearly had... Siri. I said serious, not Siri. In terms of gifts, she clearly had more interest in the jewelry and the perfume than in the silk. What did she think of me? That you're young and impetuous and don't know when to stop talking, I expect. And that your poetry is terrible. No, that's what you think. That's what everyone thinks because it's true. So you think she doesn't like me? I didn't say that. She's new at this too. She's young, she's lonely, and her manners aren't perfectly polished. Oh my god, Connor! You should talk to her tonight. You might make good friends. Right, the ball. There's something I should tell you. You changed your mind about the shoes? No, the shoes are fine. It's... In my valise, there's a red scroll case. There's a letter inside it. The letter is for you. What? Why would he be carrying a letter for me? Who would it be from? I don't have any other close connections. My family? They see me once a year to ensure I haven't lost my position or disgraced my upbringing, and other than that, they barely seem to remember that I exist. I can't see them sending me praises or asking for favors. What if some ill fate did befall my sister? What if they want me to give up my place and go back to them as if nothing had ever happened? I'd have to go, it's my duty, but... Don't look so worried. It's easy for him to say. Just read it, alright? He wants my reassurance, so I'd better give it to him. It has been a while. After all, this could be nothing, and I don't want to distract him from his performance tonight. Alright. Good. I'll see you later tonight. Now he's the one looking worried. Relax, you're doing fine. Go and have a good time. Hey, duty, take a drink! Drink taken. But not too good, right? Try not to cause an international incident, my lord. There's no use trying to sound formal when you're scolding me. Yes, my lord. Now that's no fun. No, my lord. He sighs and shakes his head. All right, I'm going. Yeah? Why? What do you want written? I don't answer him, but merely nod my head. At last, he turns away to follow the others. I'm on my own. I took a roundabout route to our assigned quarters, scouting my environment while never straying far enough out of bounds to attract attention. I wasn't looking for anything in particular, it's simply a habit. Learn your way around when you don't need to, so that the knowledge is there when it becomes useful. It's only a coincidence that it allows me to put off reading the letter, right? I can almost make myself believe that. Hey, Syrian! Oscar told me not to worry, which in itself probably means that I should. If he can say such a thing, he must know what the letter is. Not my family summoning me home. If he knew something like that, he would have wanted to talk about it earlier, I'm sure. He wouldn't keep that hidden. Perhaps it's not from my family, but from his? A secret assignment to be performed in Guelinor? Ah well, quickest begun is soonest done. I open the valise and carefully lift out folded items of clothing until I discover the cylinder of red leather. It has a more solid heft than I expected. Either the leather is very thick indeed, or there's something more than a letter inside. I unbuckle the cap and shake out an unsealed roll of parchment, and a little blue velvet box. What is this? I open the box to find another piece of jewelry, though a far cry from the sparkling fantasy offered to Princess Cassidy. It's a pendant, a polished stone wrapped in wire, its color a warm honey gold speckled with light. But why is it here? I suppose I ought to read the letter. Fuck. My dearest Maddie, I've been wanting to tell you how I feel, but every time I try, you turn me aside or laugh it away. I would write you a poem, but I know you hate my poetry, so I'll just say it simply. I love you. I know that you can never return my affections. You still think of me as that child with his hand caught in a cookie jar, a little boy who didn't even come up to your chin. I get older, but so do you, and I can't ever catch up. I'm telling you this because it's true, and not because I expect you to do anything about it. That's why I'm writing it down instead of telling you in person. I don't want to embarrass you or make you have to answer. I would never want you to pretend to love me. All I want is for you to know how I feel. Please wear my token to show that you understand, and I'll never mention it again. I want to know that you know and that you don't hate me, that's all. You want me to be a good prince and win a royal bride, so I'll do it, but I'm doing it for you. Yours, Oscar. The letter goes blurry as my eyes sting with moisture. Oh, Oscar, do you really think it's just because you're younger than I am? He's a prince, the son of a king. He's been raised in luxury and trained to govern and inspire. I am a servant with no land, no fortune, no inheritance at all. What would he have if he married me? Whatever gift his family saw fit to hand out, if they didn't disown him on the spot, and then nothing. My employment would by necessity be terminated, and we would be turned out into the town to support ourselves. A fool's paradise soon crumbled to dust. What would we do? Neither he nor I have ever been trained in a profession. Where would we live? We wouldn't have so much as a roof over our heads. It doesn't matter how I feel about him or how he feels about me. It can't happen. I wouldn't do that to him. He's wrong to think I didn't know. Of course I knew. All the more reason for me to keep my own emotions under control. Practically from my cradle, I was trained in self-control. My emotions, my reactions, even my face. Never to flinch, never to cry, never to say what I wanted, or to have any wants beyond what my parents told me to do. I was supposed to sit quietly in the background until I was needed. Eventually, I suppose I would have lived in my sister's house as a poor relation and unpaid housekeeper and never had a life of my own. My little rebellion, my misadventure, came as a shock to my parents who had thought me so obedient. But even out of their care, I'm still the daughter they raised. It remains my nature to be cautious and quiet and restrained no matter what I feel inside. I'm good at it, sometimes so good that I don't even know my own feelings anymore. Except with Oscar. He makes me laugh, he teases me and forces me to tease him back. He lights up when he smiles. Even now when he's not here, he's almost managing to make me cry. He's been my best friend all these years. I owe him for everything, and I won't let him ruin his life for me. But if through some miracle I were granted an estate of my own... Guys? Good night, Glacier. I leave this up to you. How we feeling? But I have fallen for the prince. Might consider? Consider. Got it. Negable does not want to consider. Want to consider. Ice says no. I mean, it seems like the majority of you guys... Oscar is the cute one. It seems like the majority of you guys want to consider it. Okay, consider it is. I might consider it. Then, perhaps... Oscar and I have been together so long. I don't know what I would do without him. He's sometimes clumsy and foolish, yes, but with a heart like a star. Always optimistic, always dreaming, always kind. And sometimes I imagine... No, he's a prince. He's allowed to be a dreamer. I can't afford to waste my time thinking about what might have been. I don't want to lose him, but I have no choice. Falling in love would only bring disaster. Whatever my feelings, I must harden my heart against him. At least he's had the sense to avoid the indignity of a scene. He claims this letter ends the matter with no reply necessary. If we never speak of this again, he can believe whatever comforts him most. That's what matters, after all. His comfort. His future. But if this necklace is a love token, wearing it openly might give him false hope, or raise questions from others. It would not benefit his chances with the princess to have me seen as his paramour. What do you think, guys? Should we wear the necklace or not? Wear it. It'll be good. Wear it. Girl. It'll be fine. Ice is like, please stop, guys. A heart like a star, big, warm, made of hot plasma. Wear it in all caps. Zach, are you feeling Oscar? Okay. Look, all y'all want to wear it. We're gonna wear the necklace. The only thing that Oscar asked for was a sign that I knew and accepted his feelings, not that I shared them. How can I deny him that? I fastened the clasp of the chain behind my neck and let the smooth, cold stone settle against my chest. It's just a little trinket after all. No one but Oscar will even notice. So then, that is resolved. It is done and I don't need to think about it again. But then what should I think about? I'm at a loose end. I have no assignments or tasks to perform, I can't help Oscar in any way until he returns in the evening, and the servants' dinner will not be available for hours yet. With no goal in mind, there's nothing to be gained at the moment by exploring, and thus no balance to the risk of being caught somewhere I shouldn't be. In Osendavir, I would have many options available for any windfall of free time, but there are limits to how one should amuse oneself in a foreign palace. Mending if it were needed, reading, cards? I withdraw 2 decks of cards from my belongings and begin to arrange them into the 10 tableau of the Thieves' Fortress. It's a difficult game requiring patience and skill. Extracting kings and wisdoms from a solid castle should never be an easy task. As for the lesser royals, they sometimes extract themselves. Oscar must have dodged all of his minders in order to buy that token without raising questions. Well, if I provided the motivation for him to stretch himself a bit, that's all to the good. A prince should learn to plan ahead and to take bold action. His parents might not be pleased by his reasons, but better a misguided attachment than some foolish plan about joining the jongleurs or apprenticing to an alchemist. One card, then another. I have done my job the best that I could. I've straightened his posture and flattered his looks. I've kept him active but unharmed. I've eavesdropped and intrigued on his behalf. If I had truly convinced him to give up the poetry, I could consider it a complete success. But on the balance, all is well. No doubt he will make a royal marriage at some point. Only not too soon, I hope. He's so young, and I'm not ready to move on. Hey, Len! Sometime later, my card game is interrupted by a knock at the door. Opening it, I find a young woman in the livery of a page. Young, yes, younger than myself if I am any guess, but old for such a rank, 14 being the usual age in Osendar. You're summoned to the upper servants' dinner, miss. I'll escort you, yes? I can find my own way. Maybe you could, but it's my job and I'll walk with you. Fine. No doubt she's dawdling with me in order to avoid some more onerous duty. I can't blame her. I've played the same game myself. That's a pretty thing you're wearing. My hand flies by instinct to cover the amber stone. I force myself to relax. Thank you. Mind your toes at dinner, miss. That's Sophie's folk are here and they're hard people. Sophie? The Duchess Sophia. Only she's not here, on account of she just had a baby, you see? But she's cousin to the princess, so she had to send her people. And they complain about everything, you'll see. And her husband, the Duke? Duke Farad. He's at the ball, of course. Good night, Ice! Of course. And if I were to wish to catch a glimpse of such an illustrious personage? Such a what? Oh, you want to spy on the ball? Easiest way is through the servants' door in the second morning hall. You turn left and go up a half stair to the viewing passage. Different way's better if you want to get in fast when someone calls you, but just for looking, that's the best. Thank you. Her language skills may be unpolished, but she does know her way around. She might even be a useful source of information during our stay here. Have you heard any interesting stories lately? Always stories with so many guests, miss. There's a gentleman's son throwing coals at cause because some other fellow's wearing the same tailoring. And I heard it from the boot boy that one of them had to be sent home in disgrace for planning to cause a scene at the ball. We're gonna have a fight about clothes? Oh no, it wasn't those. This was a young lady who'd heard about the story of the princess dying of the plague. Well, it's a sour bite to say it, but there's rumors sometimes. What rumors? That the little princess went the same way as her brother Caspian, and the one we've got now is an imposter. Anyone who's ever seen the princess and the king's wisdom together knows better. Some little miss who had it was planning to make a name for herself till her lord father, who had, got wind of it. Imagine that, standing plain as you please telling all the lady whatevers they're cuckoos and not ladies at all. You turn the whole country upside down. I shudder at the thought. But there's no truth to it? Not to that, no, but I'd like to see it anyway. What sort of person would want to see a woman a woman told that her parents aren't her parents? Even if your family no longer cares about you, even if you've never missed them, they're what made you. To have that taken away and in public for everyone to see your humiliation? How could anyone want that? Such a common, mean-spirited girl might make a useful informant, but I certainly could never trust her with anything. Begging your pardon, miss, but we're there now. Have a nice meal. She leaves me to enter the dining room. As a lower servant, her own supper will not be for some time yet. And so I joined the others of my rank, the confidants and the supporters of the noble elite. It's not difficult to identify the footmen of Duke Farid. Despite their position, they are a mismatched pair in clothing so plain it barely merits the title of uniform. They sit in silence and stare at the palace servants, who give them a wide berth. It would appear there is some long-standing disagreement in Guelinor between the royal family and this Duke and Duchess, one that extends even to the servant ranks. The attendants of the other guests are far more sociable, even Prince Gaston's shy little maid. We are all made welcome to the table and the generous helpings of well-prepared food, much of which is still warm. Oh, it's a good cookie. Much accompanying our meal is a pale and delicate sherry of a variety which does not keep well once the bottles have been breached. Thus, we are encouraged to drain it dry. Did you guys hear me chewing? I'm very sorry. I myself partake only moderately, but Prince Nazagi's chief valet appears to be half fish by the way he drinks. At the conclusion of the meal, we are treated to pastries and tiger nut milk, and all assembled are duly awed by the royal largesse. Hey, Niznob! How are you? Afterwards, the proper thing to do is to return to our rooms to await my master. What I intend to do, of course, is something less than proper, to find the viewing chamber that the page mentioned and cast my eyes over the festivities. Guarding Oscar from hidden dangers is another facet of my role, whether those dangers be a sword in a dark alley or a social schemer out to trip him up. Anything could happen to him if I'm not there to watch. You heard nothing? Nice. Good. I feel very self-conscious about my chewing noises. Anytime I stream, I'm like, I'm so sorry if you can hear me chew. I'm sure everything is fine. Oscar has never had any difficulties with dancing lessons. Still, he might make little mistakes, and it would fall to me to discover those faults and train them out. He is, after all, a prize stallion of a sort. Shaking my head slightly at the image of Oscar as a fearsome warhorse, I slip into the servants' passages. Oh, thanks, Maya. I'm excited to see it. I'd take it to work if I was allowed, but I'm not. It's clear that these unfinished corridors are not intended for the eyes of those above the salt. Even in the dim lighting, the exposed surfaces are a rough contrast to the splendor elsewhere. Dark, yes, but not very dusty. Either someone is assigned to clean even these unseen areas, or this location gets far more use than I'd expect. Perhaps there are always dances, or perhaps there are so few that this passage makes the ideal rendezvous point for more private pursuits. Yeah, don't worry, Minnie, we're still in the beginning. All that you missed is that the princess confessed that he loved us, and we were like, well, we can't marry you. There, a peephole. The crush of music and laughter is already clear. Moving closer, I can see wigs and ball gowns below. Oscar must be out there somewhere, but it may take a few minutes to pick him out. I hear footsteps approaching, and at first think nothing of it. There are any number of servants in this palace, after all. But that is not a servant. My lord? You. Who are you? Madeleine Valois, my lord. Valet to Osendoyer. What is he doing here? He's a prince. He should be dancing with the nobles assembled below. How could the man be, of all things, lost in his own palace? Do you need something, my lord? Nothing you could provide for me. The poisonous edge to his dismissal makes me wonder what exactly he thought I was offering. As I fail to respond, he presses on. Are you on some errand? My time is my own at the moment, my lord. Then why are you here? What is the world coming to when a servant cannot have privacy from her betters even in the back halls? It is a complete breach of decorum for him to set foot here at all. He shouldn't be challenging me about it. Inarguably rude though his question is, he is a member of the royal family, and I am a guest in his home. I am observing, my lord. Like the little Cinder girl, watching and dreaming of what she can never have. I beg your pardon? Guest or not, that was just too far. No desire to be a princess? But then you must be a noblewoman's daughter in your own land. Younger daughter. And if misfortune favors the succession, it would fall to you. Better that than a younger son, the one left over when everyone tires of matchmaking. We can't choose how we're born, one would think. Anyway, my lord, you might be a king one day. That's not an option for me. Indeed. Suppose I shouldn't have said that much, but something about the man gets under my skin. So, if not envy and not an errand, what's your game? I'm keeping watch over my prince, as is my responsibility. At least I was before you began interrogating me for no reason. His only answer is a snort before he leans forward to place his own eye to one of the peepholes overlooking the ballroom. Well, dutiful spy, it seems you have nothing to worry about. There may even be wedding bells in his future. What? I plaster myself to the wall and frantically scan the dancers below. There he is. Oscar, his hair glittering in the light of the chandelier, and a young woman in his arms, Princess Cassidy. She's smiling at him. They look happy. Of course they look happy. They're royalty. They've been trained to be dazzlingly polite in all circumstances. She'll dance with all of her suitors. That's why they're here. It's nothing. She places her hand in his, tilts her head. She laughs and his eyes answer. They walk together towards the edge of the dance floor, strolling like lovers. What if I was wrong? What if they're a perfect match? If she chose him, Oscar would not hesitate to do his duty. Take a drink! Regardless of any childish infatuations. That's very accurate, though. Even the letter, he knew as he wrote it that it meant nothing. He so much as said that confessing gave him closure. It allowed him to put it all behind him, never to be mentioned again. There are no obstacles in his path. If she chose him here and now, that would be that. He would leave, and I would be... I step back from the sight, intending to make my apologies to Prince Callum, but he's nowhere to be seen. He must have left while I was distracted. I shouldn't have come up here. I expected to see Oscar bumbling innocently along like the little boy he was when we met. I wanted to reassure myself that nothing had changed, that I was in control, older and wiser, like always. I wasn't ready to face the idea that he might not need me anymore. I returned to our rooms, too distracted to choose an adventurous route. How could he do this? Well, of course he could do this. That's why we came here. But he only this evening sent me that letter. But who knows when he wrote it? Before he met her, certainly. Days, weeks ago, it could have been. Old news. I have no right to feel betrayed. Told him dozens of times that we were nothing but friends. It's only natural for him to respond to a pleasant young princess who might be interested in him. I must stay calm. In all likelihood, this will come to nothing. The princess is a sheltered young woman, enjoying the attentions being paid to her, but she's also an heiress who has been raised to her responsibilities. Perhaps Cassidy and Oscar might come to an understanding in time, but her family would insist that she meet others first. Even if they were swept away by some mad passion and declared an engagement on the spot, which would be an incredible scandal, it would take months to organize a formal wedding. Disaster is not imminent. I have to believe that. Thanks, Maya. I get to exercise my old theater skills. It's fun. Still, one thing is clear to me. I've been too complacent. I haven't planned ahead. Sooner or later, I will lose my position with Oscar, and I need to think about what to do next. I don't like it, but not liking something doesn't stop it from happening. I have to face this. There are no other princes in Osendoyer, but there's no shortage of young men. If I'm credited with polishing Oscar for a prestigious match, mothers may want to entrust their sons to me, or even younger children. I've had enough education to pass for a tutor if I must. Such a role would give me a new home and security for a time at least. There are benefits to having worked within the palace for so many years. Someone may wish to employ me on the basis of what and whom I know. And then there are my other skills, although I would prefer not to rely on them. One who lives by the blade tends to die by it as well. No, never. Not that, and not returning to my family's hearth. Better to starve with dignity. I can't believe it could come to that. What? Why do you want to kill Oscar? Oscar's adorable. What you talk about, Zen? How could I have let this happen? I knew my life with Oscar couldn't last. I told myself that I was being the wise one, that I was focusing on what was most important and not letting myself be distracted. Apparently, wisdom and blindness look so similar I couldn't tell the difference. No, I will not panic. Everything will be all right. I have time. Once we're in our own country again, I'll set aside my wages. I'll work harder at being sociable and making connections within the court. It's never too late to make a good beginning. What? No, I've never done anything acting. Perhaps if Oscar marries well, their majesties will see fit to reward me. I'm an adult now, and I've earned their trust. They might have a new position in mind. With royal support and a higher pay rate, I would be able to make a home for myself. And then, with security and a place of my own, I could consider personal matters. Love, a family, all the things I can't have now. A real future at last. Oscar marrying Cassidy could be the best thing that ever happens to me. Even I wouldn't believe myself if I claimed I wouldn't miss him. Thanks, Jabora. I'm drawn from my contemplations by a strange sound. Or perhaps an absence of sound, I'm not entirely sure. It wasn't something I registered on a conscious level, but I've been trained to respond to changes in my surroundings. Something is wrong. I rise and walk to stand near the doors, just beyond the arc that they cover when they swing. If someone or something bursts through those doors, I would rather not be struck in the face. There's a rumble in the distance, a hubbub that can't be silenced by solid walls and thick carpeting, and it's growing. Heavy footsteps, the clash of metal, a fist hammering on the door. Open up in the name of the king! What's going on? The princess has been kidnapped by your master. What? Oh, Oscar, what have you done? Oh wow, he looks way better in that CG. He's definitely the bad boy. Now, again, the presentation hall is filled with guests and guards, more than before and far less friendly. I'm sorry, I didn't see anything. It was dark. Oscar has not, in fact, eloped with the princess in a fit of madness. He's here, bruised, dirtied, scratched, and alone. That's very good, Squid. According to the guards, he was discovered lying senseless under a rosebush. Of Cassidy, there was no sign. You spirited her into the gardens and out of my sight. My little baby. It was her idea. Pull yourself together, boy, and speak respectfully. That is Duke Farad the Disliked. And on first impressions, I cannot say I'm fond of him either. He's a pale man whose lips draw together in a pinched expression. His clothing, though well-tailored, is too somber for the festive occasion that this anniversary was meant to be, and his voice snaps like the switch ill-bred gentlemen wield on their servants. Oscar looks back at the Duke, his lip curling slightly. Then, with a small shake of his head, he draws himself to his full height. What are you confused about, Minnie? Her Highness wished to show me the alba roses in the moonlight. She told me that the garden was enclosed on all sides. There did not seem to be any danger. You were not satisfied with monopolizing the princess's public attentions. You wished to press your suit in the shadows. I would never have pressed her into anything. We were looking at the flowers and talking, nothing more. And then I felt a pain in my head. I tried to turn and something wrapped around my neck. That's all I know. Like any prince, Oscar has been trained in the arts of war, but in this case it's more of an art than a practical defense. He's passable with the sword in a context of a formal duel. With a firearm, he can strike a close-range target so long as neither he nor it is moving. A dishonorable opponent in hand-to-hand combat could take him down easily. Duke Farad, the kind of a dick. I didn't hurt Cassidy, and I don't know where she is. Please, don't waste time asking me questions. We have to find her. It's terribly convenient that you were alone, in the dark, out of sight. How fortunate for you that you were completely unharmed by this mysterious assault. What? And of course, when only you are able to find and rescue her, you will claim her hand as your reward. Are you saying that I made this all up? That's mad! They're turning on him. I have to do something. Your Majesties, may I speak? Go ahead. Everyone who saw them knew that Oscar and Cassidy were pleased with each other. Surely of all the princes, he would be the least likely to try such a thing. Are you accusing us of petty jealousy? Of course not, my lord. I'm not accusing anyone of anything. That would be a quick way to make an enemy. I have to be careful what I say. If someone did scheme to kidnap the princess in order to force her into marriage, it probably wouldn't be a man who had a good chance of winning her without it. The benefit would not be worth the risk. No one gets jealous like Gaston, has big hair like Gaston. A clever way to avoid suspicion. If there's a plot, then someone has something to gain, something that's worth risking their life to get it. So who benefits? All of a sudden, the king's wisdom goes pale, clutching at her husband's arm for support. I cannot guess what thought has occurred to her, but I must press forward my point while I can. As my lord has suggested, I believe it is important to locate her enlightened highness as soon as possible. Before whoever is behind this has a chance to cause further mischief. Naturally, I can't tell a king what he must or even should do, but I am a noblewoman's daughter, even if a low-ranked one. It's not improper to make a suggestion, particularly when the credit is placed upon worthier lips. Indeed. His gaze sweeps the room. You will all be escorted to your rooms under guard. Yes, in this world, I can clarify that. In this world, the king's wisdom refers to the wife. I think all lands and property are passed down through women, and the women are the men are trained to charm and entice the women, and the women are trained, as far as I can tell, to govern it. So they're supposed to be the main advisor and also the owner of all the land. So the advisor of whoever she marries how he should rule, how they should rule, I guess. Something like that. I'm pretty sure that it's a matriarchy. Not entirely, but I'm pretty sure. You will all be escorted to your rooms under guard. Plans to persecute harmless crackpots like Gaston. I've done nothing. I will not be treated. You are being treated like an honored guest. Your chambers will remain private, and you will remain within them. All of you, including you, Ferret. Her Majesty, I assure you. I want to help with the search. Be quiet, both of you. As far as I am concerned, you are the prime suspects. You will return to your rooms and stay there, and pray that my daughter is found unharmed. Oh, Oscar, you never did learn when it was best to avoid being noticed. As if he's heard my thoughts, he turns to look at me. When his eyes fall upon the amber stone at my neck, a tiny smile warms his face. And then the guards come for us both. Hey, Max! This is bad. Very bad. If the princess isn't found quickly, and word leaks out, all of Gwelinor will be in chaos. If she has been kidnapped, with the intention of forcing her into marriage, or worse, killed. There hasn't been a true war between civilized lands in a century. Repercussions could bring destruction beyond imagining, and if the blame for such a disaster were placed on Oscar, his family might well give him up rather than risk open war on his behalf. Even if the matter is resolved peacefully, the scandal could ruin him. It goes without saying that my own fate in such a circumstance would be far worse. Cassidy must be found as soon as possible. The guards escort us to our rooms, but true to the king's word, they do not follow us inside. Within these walls, it would seem our territory is still sovereign. Of course, I don't intend to remain within that protection. I can't rely on the local palace guard to solve this mystery, not with so much at stake. Therefore, once doors closed, I begin changing my gloves and shoes into something more appropriate. Or at least, more suitable for getting around unobserved. You think Callum? Callum's your brother, though. Nice! That's funny, Upstep. You're going out, aren't you? Don't worry, everything will be alright. Wait, don't go yet. Can we talk, please? The look in his eyes is hard to face. Between the letter and the dance and the attack, he must be feeling torn to pieces. I know he's upset, but the fact remains that every minute now can make the difference. Guys? You don't know that, Zen. Stay, talk. Stay and talk, stay and talk. Leaves his negapole. Stay, stay. You guys are really digging them, right? Them two as a pairing. If you say so, Zen. It seems like you guys are unanimous in talking. That's a really good cookie. I'm sorry. It's a really good cookie. Stay and talk. All right. But not for long. Maybe it's wrong, but I can't leave him like this. He needs me, and I need him to be okay. Are you all right? I'm fine. It's only bruises. I should have fought harder or made more noise, I suppose. It all happened so fast. Why didn't Cassidy help you? I don't think she can fight. Well... now we come to it. The romance. I can see it in his smile. I take a seat and school my face to hide any hint of a reaction. I must not appear jealous. Go on. Tell me about her. She's very sweet, attentive. She's not like my sisters at all. She was so easy to talk to. We'd keep thinking of new things to say, and she doesn't think I'm stupid. You're not stupid. He laughs and shakes his head. I think we all are sometimes. But with her, I wasn't afraid of making a mistake. She told me about Caspian, how he died so young. Do you know they wouldn't even let her play with her own brothers after that? They were so afraid of her falling ill, they never let her have any friends. She said she hoped the two of us would be very good friends. I wanted that. Friends? You mean you two weren't planning the wedding? What? Well, I liked her, but don't you think that would be a bit sudden? Of course it would! All that worry for nothing. And now we've got far worse to worry about. I just feel awful. She was so nice and I wanted to make her happy and I let her down. You said earlier that it was Cassidy's idea to go into the gardens, right? Sure. I didn't even know there was a garden out there until she pointed it out. It was too dark to see through the glass. Yeah? Let's see if I can... Don't look at that. There you go. And how did the guards know to find you? I'm not sure. I think they came looking for us because we'd been out of sight too long. So she lured you into the dark, and she didn't scream for help when you were attacked. What are you suggesting? I don't know. It's just that, well, if you say she had no freedom and no friends... I remember living like that, and I at least did have my own sister as a companion. I was still allowed to travel. How much worse to be a prisoner in your own palace. Even a perfect princess would break eventually. She might have organized a plan to get away from her minders for a while. I doubt we'll find her in the cellar with the sweets, but she might have run on her own. I did. Of course, I would have run, but I would not have gotten someone like Oscar hurt in the process. That's wonderful! What? Well, that means she's alright, right? If it was really her idea, and if her fellow conspirators don't betray her, and if she doesn't manage to get herself hurt during her adventure. Oh. That's why I have to go and find her. Yes, right. Be careful. I grasp his shoulder and give it a little shake. Everything will be alright. And now it will be a simple matter to slip out unseen. Out of a window, that is. The special gloves I'm wearing are designed for gripping surfaces when climbing. They're very useful. I'll go out our window and back in through the next one down. From there I'll be able to reach the main hallways, and any guards outside our room won't see a thing. Most of the palace staff must be busy with the search. They may not have even bothered to keep our door under watch, but I would rather not run the risk of drawing more suspicion. After some time picking my way carefully through the darkened service corridors, I begin to wonder if I've made a mistake. I was right, of course, that the official guards would not be capable of a thorough search. Only once that I've seen have they bothered to enter these passages, and that so briefly that it was easily within my capabilities to stay out of sight. Perhaps they've focused their efforts on blocking exits from the palace. Not an unreasonable approach, but the fact remains that there are 1,000 places they haven't investigated. Good luck, Maya. I'm a little invested in your campaign. I wonder how the poll is going. May the odds be ever in your favor. These corridors may be out of sight of the guards and the nobles who observe propriety, but they're hardly secret. Any servant with a bucket of coal or a filthy washwater or similar undecorous tasks could be expected to use these halls to avoid the risk of dirtying the fine carpets, and I've passed a few such already in my wanderings. None of them has questioned my presence at all. In fact, they've been eager to share the garbled gossip of how the search is progressing, all of which is mostly useless. If someone tells me that she heard from a butler who heard it from a maid that a guard saw a suspicious figure by the morning music chamber, well, even if that was accurate when it was first heard, and even if it hadn't been altered by passing through so many mouths, it's old news by now. And, of course, knowing where the guards have searched still doesn't mean that I can rule those places out. Any child knows that one of the best places to hide a stolen toy is in a location that has already been thoroughly searched. I'm going in circles and getting nowhere. I don't know what to do next. I can't give up now. What I need is information. Motives. Methods. If Cassidy arranged her own disappearance, where might she have gone to hide? If it was someone else, where might they have put her? What contacts do they have? What do they know? Just running around loose on my own isn't likely to make a difference. But I don't have any connections here. Good night, Heart! Did I just like hallucinated what I just said. What did I even just say? It's not important. Except that one. You're not supposed to be here. Yes, I am. No, you're not. You and your prince are supposed to be in your rooms. Can't rate her for manners, but she apparently has the advantage on many of the palace staff in terms of intelligence. I hope I have enough good stuff to mention. Jeez. Not that it's stopping the others. The others? Well, you don't expect a Grey Lord to stay still on the say-so of a nobody guard, do you? Those that are born that way know who makes their rules. Of course. Wonderful. If Oscar's the only suspect staying put, that'll make things even more confusing. Wait, does that mean their rooms are empty? Could be. You want to get into those rooms, don't you? Spying again? I tap the side of my nose with my finger meaningfully. I would never violate the privacy of honored guests. So you don't want to? Well, never mind then. I take back my earlier assessment. She may be observant in some ways, but she certainly didn't invent gunpowder. Yes, I would like to have a look if I can get in without being seen. Well, my suspicion is that I'll only go for another hour, mostly because I'm very tired, and also because I don't want to break my throat before Asagao. That would not be a good move. I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out what you're responding to about which other route you're talking about. I wanted to see. Oh, I see. Yeah, okay. A nearby window or a service door or a large chimney if you know the way. Oh, that's great, Pony. I'm glad. Or the keys. You have keys to those rooms? Maybe I do. What's there for me? Look, what's your name? Dolores, miss. Dolores. I'm trying to find your princess and prevent civil war, or worse. I'm not doing this to gain anything for myself. Well, good for you, lady whatever, but that's nothing to me. I sigh. What do you want? That necklace you're wearing's very pretty. Oscar's necklace? Y'all, it's your decision. I ain't making this one. Go to chat, go! I said go to chat. What I meant was go chat. Listen, I'm tired. Knock her out. So, offer her money instead, you mean? Money? Money? Kill? Yeah. No one seems to want to give it away. Or a knuckle sandwich. I reach through the slit in my clothes for my purse and fetch out 4 silver ducats. Yucks. Me? Nice, Squid. Just make a little album. And then make sure that Maya can promote it when the actual poll goes live. Oh, good luck, Maya. Here. More than it's worth and more use to you. Present from someone special then, miss. None of your business. Very well, Lady Whatever. With the bribe safely stowed, her smile takes on a harder quality. Whose room do you want? Only one? I can't wait around for you while you search. Too many eyes. I suppose that makes sense, but with so much writing on my decisions, how can I choose? Of course, Dolores is a lower servant, nearly invisible to the eyes of the mighty, and she notices things. Can you tell me a little about the other guests? I don't have all night. We have to hurry. She seizes my arm and starts to pull me along, keeping up her rapid monologue in an undertone. The Duke and his bunch won't let even the chambermaids in to air their rooms. Don't know if it's territory or if they've got something in there. The pale fellow, nobody wants to do his room because he's got all these bottles like a pharmacist. And who wants their fingers to rot off from poisons and curses? And the glittery one smells. It's true. But she drops her voice even further to a whisper. I heard it from a junior scullion that someone saw a girl who looked like the princess in his room once. Can't tell you that it's true, only that I heard it. So which room do you want to see? Okay, this one I am gonna make a straw poll for. Ain't about that life. Which ones you wanna see? Prince Nazagi slash Potion slash Silky Man. Prince Gaston slash Dead Hair. Or, what is the other one? What's the other option? Duke Farid. Duke Farid. The Snape. Away! Farrell was the purple hair one. No one spies on Gaston. Tell sweet lies like Gaston. Tries to seduce princesses for wives like Gaston. Yeah, I was thinking about that whole time. I got it though. Prince Nazagi had potions in his room and everybody knows him to be cruel. Duke Farid, everybody suspects... Well, Duke Farid's family is the one who is saying that Princess Cassidy is secretly a fake. And Gaston has a... Like, there's a girl that looks like... They've seen a girl who looked like the princess in his room. Gaston. Something is there to wear. Oh my god, you guys like Gaston. My, what a guy, that Gaston. Fine, now let's get moving. Whatever you do, don't tell anyone I helped you. The page leads me to Prince Gaston's room, where she unlocks the door and holds it open for me to slip quietly inside. Then, her purpose served, she leaves me to my task. There tends to be a certain similarity to these guest quarters. After all, there's no way to know who might be residing within them at any time. This set of rooms, however, stands out for one particular reason. The smell. It's not the scent of an unwashed man. I've encountered dirt and sweat before, even if I prefer to keep them at a distance. This is different. Too complex to categorize all at once. A hint of spice, a drift of smoked herbs, the breath of powder, and something animalistic beneath it all. Musk, that's what it's called. The Prince of Bardawin brought perfume as his offering to Cassidy, but it would seem that he retains a large amount of it for himself. Or else, what little he does use is so powerful that only a hint of it is enough to imbue the walls and furnishings with lingering reminders. No wonder the steward wouldn't let Cassidy open Gaston's gift. The princess. Is she here? Was she before? No one in the front room, of course, but the bedchamber is beyond and dangerous to burst in on unawares. I ease along the wall, silent as a fish. Are fish particularly silent? In our brief encounters, Prince Gaston has not given the impression of a man who enjoys quiet. I suspect he's not here. But between one footfall and the next, I hear a quiet cough. At a guess, it sounds like a woman. Cassidy, are you here? Oh! There's a bit of a clatter, as of a chair banging against a wall. Sorry, sir, I'll be right there. Sir? The door opens and a young woman steps out wearing a maid's uniform. Our eyes meet, neither of us seeing the person we expected. I'm sorry! She tries to hide the item in her hands behind her back, but she's not fast enough to stop me from catching a glimpse of hair. Hair the same color and style as that of Princess Cassidy. Is that a wig? You have the wrong room. You shouldn't be here. I'm looking for the princess. Don't you know she's missing? Yes, but she's not here. No one is here. Ignoring her words, I push my way past and peer into the bedroom. Hanging lamps, heaps of discarded clothing, pots of cosmetic paste, scattered cushions. No princess. Just in case, I call out, Cassidy? Please, you have to leave. Look at me. I'm not leaving until you tell me what's going on. Your master's up to something, isn't he? No. You've got a wig made to look like Cassidy. Were you supposed to draw off pursuit? Where is Prince Gaston? She shakes her head and doesn't answer me. I can help you. As long as we find the princess alive, you'll be all right. Oh, she's crying. The king will reward you, or Oscar's father will if it's needed. You'll have a new job, a new home. I don't actually have the authority to make those promises, of course, but it doesn't matter at the moment. Oh no, it's not like that. At a sound from the hallway beyond, she stiffens, letting the illicit hairpiece fall from her hands. He's coming! There's no time to hide. The best I can do is lean up against the wall, where I won't be easily noticed until after someone enters the room. Will wish to see me first, of course. She will be so frightened she will need my strong arms to lean on. My lord, it's imperative that you remain in your room. Ugh, you are not real men. You do not appreciate the power of a destined romance. Or do you wish to take my place as her hero, is that it? You who have no spirit, no fire. I know my place, and I will fight for it. You will remain here. Oh, very well. For it is not ever the path... Oh, for is it not ever the path of true love beset with obstacles? The guard withdraws, and Prince Gaston turns away from the door, his handsome face marred with a pout. Only then does his gaze fall upon me. Well, what have we here? Yo, he's so glittery. Before I can speak, he's glows the gap between us. The scent of him, so near, is heady. Not unpleasant, but dizzying, like brandy wine drunk too fast. His skin is warm, his fingers broad and strong, and I am at his mercy, here where I do not belong. A little songbird caught in my net? Of course, you could not resist my dazzling charms, and who could blame you for that? I was just visiting with your maid. Which would sound more believable if I had bothered to learn her name. But what is this? It cannot be! Is it truly so difficult for him to imagine that I might be visiting someone other than himself? You are pledged to another! What? Oh, he's noticed my necklace. Oh, fair songbird, I know the torment you must feel, but no! You must resist! We are two stars who pass in the night, you and I. We see each other's lights from afar, but we are each set to our own course. I must remain true to my love, and you to yours. No, say no more. We must deny this temptation, fly away and never look back. No one shines like Gaston, glitters bright like Gaston. With only 2 mighty strides, he sweeps me out the door. Farewell, my songbird. And then he's gone. The door closes and locks behind him. I take a deep breath, clearing my head with the fresh air. This guy is amazing. Could he really believe all those things he said? Or was it just an act to remove me from his room before I learned anything more? From what I overheard, it did not seem that he had harmful intentions toward Princess Cassidy. However, he did leave his assigned room for some reason, and has made clearly he had her own secrets. Whatever the truth may be, the consequence is clear. I will not gain entrance to those rooms again so easily. Reverse. Once more, I slip into the hidden halls. There's no sign of the Page Dolores, no any other observers, but this does not reassure me. I've been too long gone, with too little accomplished. I must return to Oscar. I wish I had more to tell him. He's done nothing wrong, I know he hasn't. An honest investigation could not point back to him, because he's innocent. Logically, therefore, this mess should not come to roost over our heads, but that doesn't mean it won't. It's my task to defend him in all ways, to guard him from danger, to save him from dishonor, and to present him in the best possible light. Rescuing a lost princess would have made him a hero, one that any woman would want as her husband. What greater laurel could I earn for him? I can't give him what he wanted from me. This is the only gift I can offer. That, of course, is if I succeed. If I do not, and if this scandal is pinned to his name, I will not fail him. I will find Cassidy. But first I must speak with Oscar to tell him what little I have learned and see if it sparks any clue. There is once again no one on guard in front of our room, so it was simple for me to unlock the door and slip back inside. Oscar was not on hand to greet me. He may be resting his sore head, which is worrying in itself. He was knocked unconscious earlier, however briefly. His injury may be worse than it appeared. Of course, he simply may have found some way to distract himself in my absence. I should call out quietly, to give him warning of my approach. Before I can speak, a figure barrels out of the bedroom, and it is not Oscar. Intruder! At once, my daggers are in my hands. The strange man attacks with a powerful overhead strike, a move generally useful only for splitting melons. Even caught off guard, I have more than enough time to brace and catch his stroke on my blades. My angle's not good enough to push him back more than a few steps, but by that point I can assume a better stance. He comes at me again, testing my reflexes. One move of his longsword towards my eye, and then circling down to slice at my feet, both times easily brushed aside. Then for my middle, and this time I catch the blade again, twisting to hold his sword up and away with the hilt of the dagger in my right hand, while I push in and slash at his hands with the one in my left. He jerks back, clearly fearful of any injury to his hands, and leaves himself open. I pursue, spinning as I move to hide my precise target. With one move, I can drive a dagger backwards and up into his heart. But no, he ran further than I expected, and I catch only the air. I turn my head to find my target behind me and to the side, again making a wild overhead swing. Too late to turn, I dive for the floor and roll to come up facing the correct direction. His sword slices through empty air and into the floor, scarring the wood. He's overbalanced. Driving in my heels, I grab the plush edge of the embroidered rug beneath him and yank. My assailant stumbles, falling back against the heavy marble fireplace while I climb to my feet. Looks like that impact left a bruise, though nowhere near enough to put him out of the fight. He has reach and strength, but not so much skill, I think. Time to take the offensive. I bare my teeth and snarl, then leap forward, tapping his sword at full speed with first one dagger, then the other, getting him used to the pattern of parrying. When the moment comes, I trap his sword between my blades and give it a wrench that would have sent it flying from the hand of an untrained man. This one retains his grip, but for the moment his weapon is neutralized. I force him up against the wall, too close for him to bring a sword to bear, and look up into the eyes of my enemy. It is Prince Callum! What? No! What? Him? The, mean one? No, crazy. By the blue sky, what do you think you're doing? Testing you. Oh my god, you're such a dick. I could have killed you! He smirks at me and casually eases his sword from my control. I don't think so. A prince should have the best tutors and more skill in sword fighting than the clumsy attacks he demonstrated on me. That is true. Of course, he is one of many, a neglected younger son, as he said. Good night, Pawnee. Why are you here? I require your aid. You want to get my help by breaking into my room and attacking me? I needed to be sure you wouldn't freeze in a crisis. I need a pair of hands I can rely on, not another burden. I'm liking this guy more and more the more he talks. For what? He shrugs me aside and takes a few long strides away before turning back to answer over his shoulder. A task that calls for the sort of woman who climbs out of windows and slips locks, who draws a blade at a moment's notice. You want me to spy for you? And you think you can trust me for that? You don't know me. You must have servants of your own. I need someone with no connections. This means you, Valois le Vauchenglas. You are going to do exactly as I tell you for 2 reasons. 1, because I need your help to rescue my sister. And 2, so how we feeling about him now? He pulls open the inner door, revealing a factor that I should have considered earlier. Because if you don't, I'll slit your master's throat. Oscar! Chapter 2. The bargain. Drowning my heart's panicked cry, I force myself to examine the situation in detail. Oscar's eyes are wide over the silken gag. Probably stray hose. I don't see any signs of further injury or struggle. Callum's actions must have taken him completely by surprise. How could either of us have guessed the prince was a madman? Think! Stall for time! Think! You can't possibly mean that. You're already suspect. This bow, he nudges very slightly with his blade, and Oscar flinches, was the last one with my sister, and you have been creeping about like a spider. If I kill you both and claim self-defense, do you think anyone will have questions? That presumes you can win. Perhaps you could hold me off with your little stings, but too late for your livelihood here. You're bluffing. You wouldn't dare murder a visiting prince, especially not like this. Tied up, his blood all over your clothes. If I screamed for the guards, you couldn't possibly have the time to clean up the evidence. He laughs. Clever. You are the one I need. I don't want his blood or any part of him. But if we can't make a deal, I will have to call for the guards and we'll see what happens. What do you want from me? Your oath. You serve me without question until Cassidy is safe. And no knife in my back. Hey, Ansel! And you expect me to cooperate when you're threatening my friend? I need a partner I can trust absolutely, and this is the only leverage I've got. Dude, I don't know how strong you think oaths are? But unless you're literally making me sign a blood oath with a demon, I don't have time to argue. Your oath. Now. There's really no choice to be made. I can't let him harm Oscar. Fine, I'll do what you want. Formal oath. He presses his bare palm to the edge of his sword, just long enough to break the skin, then holds it out to me. A blood vow. That's what he wants. My hand and my blood match to his, my honor subject to his will. A privilege that, until now, has belonged to Oscar alone. And by that bond I can't refuse. Fighting down a feeling of panic at events moving beyond my power to control them, I remove my glove and scratch across my palm. Then, before Oscar's eyes, I place my hand in Callum's, skin to skin. I offer you my service and obedience until the rescue of Princess Cassidy within limits. I won't murder for you and I won't die for you. And if any harm comes to Oscar, the deal is off. Pushy, aren't you? But he takes his sword away from Oscar's throat and in one motion sheathes it. You said you wanted a partner. Partners speak up. If you don't mind, I'd like to take that thing off him now. As long as you can keep him under control. My fingers are already moving to loosen the gag. Bleh! Maddie, what are you doing? You can't work for him. He's lost his head. I glare at Oscar and hope that for once he'll read the message in my eyes. Don't provoke him. It's too late for arguments now. My oath is given, and this is the situation we have, so we'd better make the best of it. Callum's design? If he's trying to save the princess, he is our ally. And staying close to Callum means being able to keep an eye on him. Not that I can explain that at the moment. Please, Oscar, trust me. He's a knock-knee, double-crossing sneak! I liked him better with the muzzle. I waved my hands through the air, gesturing the two of them apart. Both of you, no biting. But... fine. The stake keeps building up more and more apologies that I owe him. It's all worthwhile so long as he's safe and whole for me to apologize too. So, how are we supposed to rescue Cassidy? The whole castle's looking for her already. What do you know that they don't? I have the ransom note. We bring the gold, they bring the princess. How do you know it's genuine? There was a lock of her hair. If you have a rendezvous point, why not take some guards and go fetch her? You do what I say without questions. Right. Well, he did imply that he couldn't trust any of the palace servants to do the job right, and that he needed someone more subtle. Perhaps the kidnappers threatened to harm the princess if guards were blundering around. He's paranoid, but not completely without reason. Oscar sighs and leans against the doorframe. He's looking a bit pale. This day's taken a heavy toll on him, both emotionally and physically. Come on, we have work to do. Just you, Valois. He stays here. Leave Oscar alone? Do I even have to ask you guys what we're gonna do at this point? Nega! Nega, come on! I mean, yeah, you guys, right now Nega's the only voice and he's telling me to go with Callum. Oh, there's Zen. Now we're 1 for 1. 2 for 2, 2. Wait, 2 say goodbye? Okay, now 2 talk. No? Talk? Wait, Zek, do you want to go with no, talk to the cute boy? Okay. Thanks for having my back. May we have a minute first? Callum looks back and forth between Oscar and myself. Either you trust me or you don't. I agreed to work with you. I need to talk to my friend. Fine, I'll wait. Briefly. He steps out the door, leaving me alone with Oscar. We look at each other, and the first words out of each of our mouths are exactly the same. Are you alright? You first. Oh, I'm fine. He came in, said he wanted to talk, but he didn't say much. He asked where you were, and I didn't know what to tell him. I said I sent you to the kitchens for a snack. I don't think he believed that. He took my hand, and then all of a sudden he twisted it up behind my back, tied me up, pushed me aside. It all happened so fast. Twice in one night. You must think I'm completely hopeless. Both times I wasn't with you. It's my fault, not yours. He pulls a long-nosed face. I didn't know what was going on, and he stuffed me like a goose, so I couldn't even squawk. He just waited. Then we heard the outer door open, and he drew his sword and went out there, and I heard the fight, and I thought... I was afraid... I'm fine. He tried to kill you! I've had rougher sparring matches. So have you. I'm not even scratched. Really, I'm fine. He's a dangerous man. I don't like the thought of you alone with him. I'm not going off with him like that. He's forced you into things already. Reaching forward, he takes my hand and turns it over to display the mark of my unwilling oath. What else will he make you do? The reason I left in the first place was to rescue Cassidy. That's still the plan. He's got a lead, that's all. You don't have to do this. We could find someone else to turn to. I gave him my word. As long as he doesn't try to force me to act outside honor, I don't intend to break it. It's better to make friends than enemies, right? He stands there looking at me, and his eyes are old and tired. I have to go. Come back safe. I squeeze his hand in acknowledgement, and I make my exit. Callum is waiting for me, leaning too casually against the wall beside the door. I was listening, you know. I know. Trust only goes so far. So what now? We need to assemble the ransom money. 2,000 golden ducats. That's quite a sum, but not that much for a princess, really. I suspect our kidnapper lacks imagination. You don't happen to have that gold sitting around in your chambers? No, we'll have to obtain it from the royal treasury. This is your palace. Can't you just requisition funds? We need to obtain the coin without attracting notice. Rob the royal treasury. Right. How does he imagine we're going to pull that off? Picking a lock is out of the question. Treasuries are always guarded. And yet, despite myself, I'm starting to find the prospect interesting. It's a challenge, a puzzle that I can understand and solve. This is why I needed a suitably discreet partner. Rather, suitably distracting. I hope you don't expect me to jiggle at the guards. I'd look ridiculous. Too obvious. I have a plan. It all depends on how convincing you can be. The carpet beneath my feet is thick and plush, muffling the sound of my footfalls. Which is not to say that there's no warning of my approach. In this part of the palace, the walls are inset with viewing windows, enabling guards to keep an eye on foot traffic in all directions. After all, you wouldn't want anyone being able to sneak into the royal treasury. One guard on duty, his attentive gaze dutifully... Duties! We've had so many duties and we haven't even been drinking! Blast! Thursday. His attentive gaze dutifully sweeping back and forth with the occasional check behind him. Good. There's little in the way of extra ornamentation in these corridors. No paintings on the walls, no hothouse blooms forced into show, only the patterned and gilded ceiling tiles. I crane my neck upwards to stare at the muted, non-reflective golden surfaces, paying no attention to where I'm walking. Oh! That is, of course, the moment that my foot catches on the edge of the plush length of the carpet, throwing me to the ground with a thump. I don't cry out all that loudly. I've only tripped, it's nothing serious. I'll just climb back to my feet. Ow! And that is when I first attempt to put weight on my left ankle. This time the noise I'm making is enough to draw the guard a few steps away from his post. Still more than close enough to see anyone approaching, but now also able to get a better look at me. Are you alright, miss? I'm fine. I wave him away and try to place my foot on the ground, then pull it back with a sharp hiss and clutch at the wall for support. I distinctly do not look at the guard, but male instinct prompts him to step a little closer to my obvious, if false, distress. Can you walk? I'm not sure. I'll call for another guard to help you to your room. No, please don't! I'll be alright. I just need to rest for a few minutes. You can't rest here, miss. I use the wall for support and take a hesitant step, trying to look as fragile as possible. Just a little bit longer. You can't walk on your own. I'll have to summon someone. I don't want to be a bother. It's my duty. It is my duty! No need. Prince Callum walks out of the treasury, which he entered earlier in full view of the guard under the pretext of returning a bit of royal jewelry worn at the ball. Long, smooth strides bring him swiftly to my side, and avoid the possibility of any inconvenient jingling. That does not help. No, I don't know about that. I will escort this young woman. Guys. Yes, Your Highness. Callum bends, bringing his shoulders to a level where I can more easily fling a grateful arm around him. As he straightens, his support pulls me against him, not so coincidentally helping to conceal the faint bulge produced by stowing a large bag of coins out of sight. Or something else, am I right? Okay. I'm sorry. We don't even like this guy. He nods to the guard. Carry on. And we leave the man to lock the door behind us now that the gold has already flown away. We keep up the charade on our return to Oscar's quarters in case of observation. Caution costs nothing, except my pride. Ever know what I'm saying? I cannot help but feel strange, clinging as I am to the body of a man I barely know. Prince of hidden schemes and unpredictable violence. Are you attracted to the danger element yet? This man is dangerous. Is he hot to you? Callum is well-muscled, stronger and more solidly built than Oscar, and pressed so close to me that I can feel the heat of his flesh. My duties to my prince have not left me time for much experience with the rougher sex. The support of his arm should, I suppose, make me feel safe and protected. Instead, it leaves me off balance and vulnerable. No. It would be easy in this position for him to accidentally brush, to slide a possessive arm around my waist, to belittle me for the helplessness I've been made to feign. And yet his hands never stray. Failure to act like an odious brute at every opportunity does not make him a hero. It only means that he is, at worst, not that sort of villain. What sort of man is Prince Caleb? So mystery! So far, he has revealed little but anger and ruthless determination and mystery. I have been forced to give him my allegiance, and for safety's sake, I must pretend complete loyalty. But that does not stop me from thinking about his mystery. His secrecy suggests that he has enemies within the palace, or else he was quite clearly bitter about his position as the youngest son, and it does not seem that Frederick and Paloma are expending much effort to polish him for a good marriage. But if he rescued a princess from peril, the same act of heroism I had hoped to achieve for Oscar might instead benefit Callum. He could not be rewarded with his sister's hand, of course, but the story would travel. If that is his plan, it would make no difference to him if Oscar were to receive a small bit of the glory, or even the affections of this particular princess. We could still stand to gain. He protect, he attack, but most important, he still gold in a sack. But, rationally, is the chance of playing hero worth the risk he took by attacking myself and Oscar? By threatening murder? So sexy. It doesn't add up. Either there's something I'm not seeing, or Callum is not acting rationally. Which is worse. The instant the door closes behind us, Oscar rushes to my side. Madeleine! I'm fine, it was an act. I retract my arm from Callum's shoulders and stand on my own 2 feet. Your assistance was competent. Oh God, what an ass! Is that supposed to be a thank you? But you can't thank someone for doing what you forced them to do, can you? Oscar, it's alright. No, it's not. He turns to face Callum. Are you done with her? Hardly. This was only the first step. We have the ransom, now we have to reach the rendezvous. And where's that? Forest, a couple of miles away. Outside the palace? The guards may have missed the initial intrusion, but they're certainly guarding all exits now. Which means, you know a secret way out? He only nods, his eyes locked on Oscar's. I hold my breath, anticipating an explosion. But when Oscar speaks, his words are carefully measured. You're not taking her without me. I need a blade I can rely on. That means her and not you. I am not actually that bad with a sword. Whatever's going on, you expect it might end in a fight. Wouldn't 3 on your side be better than 2? He's thinking it through. Good for you, Oscar! If you really didn't trust him, you wouldn't want to leave him here while you're not even in the palace. Can he actually fight? Would you care to try me? I'm asking her, not you. He's a prince, of course he can fight. But is he any good, compared to, say, myself? That question is a trap, plain and simple. Whatever I say, they will both hear it. Okay, I'm gonna leave this for a straw poll. Good, better, or worse? These are your options as we choose how to handle this situation tactically. While that's happening, I'm gonna go get myself some water, and it'll take like 2 seconds. I'm also gonna turn on my kettle. So if you hear like a roaring sound, like a dragon has started screaming, that's what that is. Sorry. feel... Ah! Ow. Oh, man. Oh, man. Okay, there we go. I feel a little bad because I left and I didn't put the BRB screen on, so our monthly top donator didn't get the glory, so I'm gonna switch to it for a little bit, for just like... Hey, Squid! Nice! Just wanted to give you that. It's, you know, it's fair. Alright. We have... Literally nobody voted for worse. But good has won by 1 vote. Okay. He's good. In a fair fight. He's good enough in a fair fight. Fairness may be in short supply. He won't embarrass you if that's what you're asking. In all truth, I'm not certain whether or not it's a good idea to take Oscar along. It depends on what Callum's plans really are, and that's a question I can't answer. He's assembled a ransom. Wah! You scared me! Jeez! Cold-hearted complaints. Connor has donated $6 and says, "Hey, look, money." Thank you very much, Connor. You like really scared. Like I was in the zone. I was not prepared. And you get to use the emote. You got it. You got the $6 worth of emotes. Thank you, Connor. Connor. Where was I even? He's assembled a ransom, but as Oscar said, he sounds like he's preparing for a fight. Maybe he's just guarding himself in case the kidnappers try to capture him as well. Or maybe there's something else going on here. If there's a battle waiting for us, Oscar could get hurt. With all the secrets and schemes going on here, I'm not sure that leaving him behind would be safer. If Callum actually didn't... Ah! Oh my god. Whoa. I don't know why, but hearing my gasp made my heart jump so bad. A Squid has donated $20 and says, "Well, dang. Now I gotta make sure and protect my title." Thank you very much, Squid. I appreciate it. I don't know what it is about today, but I am... That freaks me out. I think it's... I haven't heard the donation chimes in a little bit. Thank you very much, Squid. Defend your title. Oh, Cece, I'm not prepared for that. I'm very scared. I'm very scared about that. If Callum didn't trust Oscar, he might have arranged for something to happen to him once I was out of the way, or any of the other nobles might come around asking questions. No, I can't leave the palace without him. He's my responsibility, and I must not abandon him. I could never forgive myself if something went wrong without me there to defend him. Yeah, I'm very scared of Love, Cece. Man, don't y'all know anything about me? Ooh, a good name for a kettle dragon. My brain went, Susie. Arenard the Steamy. Don't ask me to name things. That's the one place where my writing falls apart. And if it comes to a battle, then at least I would have someone at my back whose loyalty I could rely on. Callum I can't trust. Oscar I would never doubt. I wonder who you should date, if that's the case. He blows out a breath. I suppose it will have to do. You may accompany me, but without your sword. I will decide if you should have one. Just remember who's in command here. Whatever you see or hear, you do what I tell you. I understand. Which isn't quite the same as a promise to obey. Callum looks at me. I expect you to keep an eye on him. Aurigard? Either Aragod or Aragard. Either A-R-I-G-A-U-D or A-R-I-G-A-R-D. You may choose the steamy. Actually, speaking of, real quick, I'm gonna go grab it. I'm making that specialty.
Specialty.
Yeah, it's the Chinese one that Zek recommended to protect my throat. Listen, I'm not gonna take any chances before Asagao. I talk all day at work. It's my job. Gotta protect the baby. I should definitely look up vocal hygiene practices. Anyways, I expect you to keep an eye on him.
Go for it.
Sometimes things are hard and you gotta be strong. Speak up and listen. Hesitate, no transmission. Yeah, future deal right. Something ain't right. I wanna hide. Let's go for a ride. Let's go, yeah. Let's ride.
Okay. Squid. I'm fine. Squid has donated $100 and says, "Oh yeah, that reminds me. I haven't heard that kick-ass song in a bit." Squid. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Thank you very much, Squid. Man, you have to tell that to Luke. He'll be very happy. Thank you. I'm flustered. It's fine. Squid of the year, if you ask me. Squid of the year, if you ask anybody in this chat, to be honest. Thank you very much, Squid. I feel all embarrassed. I don't know what to do. I know what I can do. Entertain. I always do. What do we always do? I don't remember what happened anymore. Because if he betrays me, he will pay. The blunt reminder that Callum is not our new friend leaves the room silent for a moment. Thank you, Squid. Should I fetch a purse then? Not funny. She doesn't like my jokes. She doesn't like my poetry either. Why? Would you like to hear some? Will you be quiet? Well. Aw, thanks, Maya. Is he a squid or is he a man? He is neither, and yet he is both. For he is Squid Man. Make that an opening. It needs an opening to like a Batman movie. Except it's like because it's underwater. See, we're getting along fine. I can't help smiling along with him. Even under such tension, nothing dampens his spirit for long. But my role is to be the focused and responsible one, and I'd better get back to playing it. So, you have the ransom, and you have your backup. Where do we find the secret exit? And how certain are you that it's still secret and still unguarded? What if someone's been using it? The entrance is hidden and known only to the royal family. The door beyond it is kept locked. And if you get through that, you end up somewhere that most people would not want to go. Sewer level. Sewer level. Everybody loves the sewer levels. Everybody loves them. They're the best ones. The underground tunnels that Callum led us to are choked with rubble and spiderwebs. It's visibly obvious that no one has been this way in a long time. The entrance was the worst, the stones overhead cracked and crumbling and threatening to collapse at any moment. As we've moved along, the state of repair has increased, but so has the unpleasant atmosphere. The air down here is fetid, and insects are constantly flapping at the edges of our torchlight. Giant sewer rats, or spiders. What is this place? Hundreds of years ago, when customs were different, these were the catacombs. The bodies of those who died in service were laid here to rot, so that even in death their spirits would remain beneath their masters. That's awful! It is the way things were. When times changed, parts of these tunnels were reworked into a sewage system that feeds into the river. Yeah, so even better to, honor those dead bodies. That explains the bugs and the smell. Watch yourself, little prince. Where there are insects, there are spiders, and some of them bite. Why are you like this, Callum? Who did this to you? As we ease along a narrow stone ledge, Callum's shoulder comes into contact with a bit of loose rubble in a wall niche, and knocks it out of place. Ew. A pale-bellied snake, dislodged from its slumber, falls into his arm and begins to writhe. Ah! Calmly, Oscar reaches over and scoops the snake off Callum and onto the floor where it slithers away. You were saying? Oscar! Don't worry, those aren't poisonous. I think... Is it actually dangerous down here? It isn't safe, but I wouldn't have brought you if I expected it to be fatal. Did you explore here as a child? No. Once. There's nothing to see but rocks and bones and filth. There wasn't any point. No hidden treasure. Who would leave anything precious among the bodies of dead peasants? Their families? Their families were peasant families. They would have nothing of value. Unless they'd stolen it from their masters, and then they'd keep it for themselves. Thieves are not generous. You're such a cynic. Oh, I'm so above this, says Callum. There once was a sourpuss from Gwelinor, who postured and puffed till he was good and sore. Do you ever stop talking? When I'm asleep. Once we leave these tunnels, it's imperative that we remain silent. There may be guards on watch. If you can't handle that, turn back now or you'll have us all shot.
Yay!
Oscar's Thank you, Len. Oscar's only joking with you. He wouldn't put us in danger. In the distance, I hear a kind of rustling. What was that? Bats? We're getting close now. Watch your step. I'll have you know, though, I definitely am reading him as more of an asshole than he needs to be. As predicted, the dank tunnels eventually gave way to a natural brook, gurgling quietly in the night. Behind us looms the deceptively calm shadow of the palace, too far away for us to see the patterns of the guards, or for them to see us. This is unknown territory, far from the roads that Oscar and I have traveled. Not even a path can be seen amongst the trees and grass. We must rely upon Callum to be our guide. Dank memes. My memes too dank for you? That you did. Good night, Cece. Sleep well. He motions us closer and speaks in a low tone. Keep an eye out for centipedes. The bite won't kill you, but your screams would draw notice. With no further explanation, he moves out, leaving us to follow. Neither Oscar nor I is an expert in woodscraft, but neither are we strangers to the outdoors. Oscar in particular always loved climbing trees or games of cache, couscous in the forest. Thus, I know how to place my feet to avoid making too much noise, and which bits of brush are most likely to hide creatures who will retaliate for being disturbed. Daring robberies, ancient tunnels, and now sneaking away in the dark to save a lost princess. It's very close to being an entertaining adventure. Yeah, Lily, you think? Man, we're gonna have a fun time while I'm working then. Prince Dick. I don't know, is Prince Dick an insult or a compliment? It's like a little conflicting to me. Callum leads us along the water's edge in silence for some time, and eventually stops by a grassy bank. We'll set up camp here. Camp? What about the rendezvous? It's tomorrow. We're spending the night out here? Was that not obvious? If it had been obvious earlier, we could have brought supplies, blankets, food from the kitchen. Dinner's over. How many meals a day do they eat in Osendoyer? In Osendoyer, we eat a good breakfast before a hard day's work. Or a fight. It's alright. Once the sun's up, we can hunt for plants. And with the stream right here, we could even fish. With no hook, line, or net? Right. Well, we can still find food. It'll be fun. This is not fun? Then what is it? If you told us more about what you were planning, we'd be better able to help you. You know enough. You know, she promised not to ask questions, but I didn't. I'm not interested in your nattering. All I want to do is help Cassidy. You understand that, don't you? I liked her, and I let her down. I couldn't protect her. I owe her the best that I can give. And to do my best, I need to know what you know. You don't need anything. Please? Not even Callum can hold out against those eyes forever. I certainly couldn't. Did they squid? I'm very excited. Fine, ask your questions, but I don't promise to answer. You know who it is that has Cassidy? No, but it doesn't matter. This isn't politics. This is a crime about coin. How do you know that? You don't need to know. What are you expecting to happen tomorrow? We find the location ahead of time and the two of you put yourselves out of sight and stay there. They expect me alone. If we're betrayed, if Cass is in danger, you are my reserves. If everything goes by plan, then when Cass is safe, when they think they've won, you take them. So you're double-crossing them. You object? They're criminals! They don't deserve to get away with it. No, I agree. But there's only 3 of us. There's a limit to how much we can do. Plate pickers like these have no loyalty. I don't expect more than 1 or 2 at the most. If there's a full company, then don't waste your strength. If they're few, then show no mercy. Understood. Good. He rolls his head around his shoulders, stretching out the tension. You should get some sleep. We'll need to be up at dawn to find our position. Especially if you expect to forage. I'd better find some leaves for a mattress. The 2 young men walk off in different directions, leaving me alone. So far, this doesn't seem to be turning out too badly. If Callum's telling the truth, then tomorrow we should be able to save Cassidy and bring her safely home. The palace will be in a panic from a night searching, but with the prince and princess beside us, we'll be greeted as heroes. If. Wow! What? Hard decision. I mean, I will wait for you guys to make the decision, because as we know, the Fold is a democracy. That's very hot. Feels very good in my throat, though. Oh, Ska. Talk to Prince Not a Dick. Prince Not a Dick. Hey, Oscar? I find Oscar a little ways along, seated by the stream. Despite what he said earlier, he doesn't seem to be assembling a bed, just staring into the rippling surface of the water. Hi. Hi. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Are you gonna kiss? Kiss! Mindful of the damp, I take my time choosing a seat beside him. You did well with Callum. You put him at ease. You got him to open up to you, at least a little. Without your help, I wouldn't have any information at all. I do listen to you, you know, in all those lessons. Just because I don't want to spend my life manipulating people doesn't mean I can't do it. I never said you couldn't do it. No, but you were surprised, weren't you? You think I'm a child. And it's more fun sometimes acting like one. I don't think you're a child. No? Then what is it? His eyes fall upon the amber stone which hangs around my neck. How would I be under attack? Ooh, wild arms. Why do you always turn me away? You said we weren't going to do this. That was then. That was before I had to listen to someone trying to kill you while I was helpless. I know he wasn't. That doesn't change how it felt to me then. How it felt to watch him force you into his hands, to stay behind while he took you away, to see you draped over him. It was nothing. Shh, I'm telling you how I felt. I thought I could be a grown-up and let you go without a fight, but I was wrong. We need to talk. My heart is hammering in my chest. We can't do this. Yes, you can do it. You want me to say what to him? Sad. I'm overruling this democracy. Alright, but first I'm gonna shave it because I want to make sure that it's okay. Because what if you make a mistake? We're not brother zoning him. What about Cassidy? What about her? Aren't you in love with her? What? I barely know her. But you do like her. You're a good match for each other. She's young and lighthearted, just like you. She's a princess, an heir, and she likes you, and you're riding to her rescue. It's a classic romance. Saving someone who's been kidnapped doesn't mean I'm in love with her. I saw you together. I saw how you two looked at each other. Now you'll be her hero, and you'll probably be married, and that's good. That's great, because you're jealous. What? You're actually jealous. Don't be ridiculous. I want you to marry Cassidy. It's the best thing for everyone. He leans in close to me, grinning like a cat who's had the cream. So you were watching me dance with Cassidy, and you weren't at all thinking that you might like to dance with me. We shouldn't be doing this. You weren't thinking that you might like to go for a walk with me somewhere nice, like a river at night. We definitely shouldn't be doing this. I have to pull away. I have to... Yes! I can't think. This shouldn't happen. What do? I don't know. Does he? I've never known how warm it would feel to... No! I scrambled back. God damn it, woman! Why are you doing this? I scrambled backwards, break away from Oscar, breaking contact. We cannot do this. Maddie. No, you are my responsibility. I work for your parents. I take care of you. I cannot do this. And you are a prince. You're a leader. You've had the best tutors, the best of everything. You want to throw away everything your parents have given you to marry me? Do you know what would happen to us? We'd starve, that's what. No home, no money, no trade. We'd have nothing. You could talk to my parents. Your parents pay me to make you desirable to other women, not to corrupt you. I've worked so hard. I've done everything right. I'm not going to let you ruin your life. This didn't happen. Marry Cassidy and be happy. I turn and walk away, ignoring anything he tries to say behind me. I have to go. I can't let him see my face. He must not see me cry. I thought I had everything under control. I thought I could let him go. I thought if I told myself I didn't love him enough times, I could make it true. It's not going to work. There's no way out. I do have feelings for Oscar, but we can never, ever be together. Chapter 3, The Revelation. And this is where we shall stop tonight. That worked out quite prettily, if I do say so myself. Save here. So do you guys see why I like Hanako games? Do you guys see why I like Hanako games? What a revelation it was. Did it spell it that way? We cheated on our Negapole. Sit down. Sit down. You've been outvoted. Sorry. That was a nice game. What, Connor? I am aware. So thank you guys for coming out to the stream and watching the Royal Trap with me. Would you guys like to share your one good thing that happened today, or one good thing you did, Zen, or one good thing that you're looking forward to tomorrow? Yeah, I feel you, Maya. I didn't take my nap today, which means I need to go to sleep ASAP because I wake up early. Oh, Zen, I'm sorry. I'm also sorry, Maya. Maya, go to sleep. Sleep is very important for your health. Oh, nice job, Lobster. Oh, yeah, Connor's streaming Wind Waker tomorrow, so if anybody wants to go watch Connor stream, it's his first time playing Wind Waker. It'll be fun. So, Cold Hearted Complaints. You can go check that out tomorrow. Happy no longer birthday. It's still your birthday where I'm living, Zen. Happy still birthday. I mean, it's unfortunate that you missed out on something you like. Today you learned Yoko Ono is apparently an artist, and she's like a super nice old lady who wants people to love each other. Yeah, Yoko Ono's amazing. I'm not gonna buy into this Beatles nonsense. I don't care if that's drama. Yoko Ono's an amazing artist. I can say that we're doing D&D Wednesday, and I'm very excited about that. And also, I made a tweet earlier today. Oh, nice, Red. I made a tweet earlier today talking about how I've been like working really hard on basically my health since I was diagnosed with a chronic illness a little bit ago. And I'm very, very pleased to say that I am seeing results. And I am seeing results that have made me feel better than I have felt in more than 2 years. 3 years? 4? I don't even remember how far back it was. In years. I'm very excited about it. So. The Beatles screwed the Beatles. That's how it is, 2H. You get to sleep in. Ah, sleeping in is so nice, Max. You joined Quidditch? Oh, Maya. Oh. Ooh, that's nice, Maya. Good job. Yay, health. Yay, health. Yay, health. Yay, health. Oh, what is this? Squid? Oh, that's very bright. Prince Oscar. Oh, that's really funny. Man, can you imagine if he sang Be Prepared? He wouldn't sing Be Prepared. He would sing like Be in Love. You're gonna listen to the podcast now? Connor, go to sleep. I mean, thank you, but also go to sleep. Yeah, we do have a new episode of the podcast out. It's our 50th episode. Not that we did anything special for it, even though we tried to. We failed. So if you would like to go listen to it, it's about expectations and whether expecting the best or the worst is better. I have some opinions, which is why we recorded the podcast, but I have some very strong opinions about that. Guckin, we are, in fact. We are currently working on one. We decided to spend a lot more time on pre-production with this specific game, which is why we haven't finalized anything to the extent that we're okay with showing it to the public, but we do have a lot of stuff done, and I think once we are completely content with the full direction of where we're heading, we'll be able to start showing some of our progress to other people. So I'm really excited about the new game. Okay. I'm very excited. I love all of those characters. It's getting to be a little bit problematic. Because I also, when I love a character, I also just love to put them in situations that are bad for them. It's a very twisted love. Vacation! on episode 34 already. Nice, Max. That makes sense, Maya. Good luck. I can say that the thing that I started taking that helped a lot with fatigue was an herbal supplement called ashwagandha. I don't know if it would help you. I'm a little bit in love with it. I'm like hesitant to recommend it to people because I'm like, I mean, I don't have any proof aside from the fact that it really helped me. But if you're interested, you can try, or you can do research on it. We do not currently think that there's going to be a Kickstarter for this game, Connor. The only reason we would have a Kickstarter is if we ran out of the like funds that we've saved from Asagao to work on this game, or if we wanted to like maybe try and port it we wanted to try to make merchandise or something. We might kickstart that because merchandise costs so much money. So like if we do need to kickstart anything, it'll probably be that, but it'll probably be once the game is either done or really close to done. We learned our lesson from Asagao. It's scary to do a Kickstarter when the game is not finished. Oh, Squid, but you're gonna feel so good when it's done. Oh, hey, Min. Good luck, everybody. Let's all be healthy. Well, thank you, Maya. I mean, we'll announce when we're at the point where we're hiring voice actors and stuff, which is not going to be until I finish the dang script. So, that's my job. And also probably not until we have all of the sprite assets completely finalized so we can show pictures of who exactly people will be playing. You guys, Danny's gotten really good. Like, she was already really good, but she's been working really hard on improving her art. She's gotten super good. I'm very excited about it. It's fine. We've been working on this for quite some time now. I'm just very excited. It's been a year. It's been like a year and a half. I'm very excited. I know, Squid. I know. Listen, it's hard. We'll tweet it. If you guys, not to publicize myself, but if you guys aren't following the Illis Seed Twitter, which is our visual novel making Twitter, you can follow there. And when we're ready to start hiring people for things, we are definitely going to make a post about it, and we're going to tweet it out, and we're going to be like, if you would like to apply here. That's the plan. So if you're interested in that, you can follow the LSC Twitter. Eventually, it will not be dead. Wizards. Aw, thank you, Red. Thank you guys for being excited about it. I'm very excited about it. Danny is like an art wizard. You follow all the Cara-related Twitters. I guess there's 4 of them. Yeah, that's a lot. I'm sorry. I don't know, Zen. So, what I know is that you can never accurately guess your own voice. Because I don't think that I have that great of a voice. But some of you guys are like, it's not that bad. So you can never, you can never really know. Man. See, this is the real problem with me having to get up early, is that I'm like, I don't want to go to sleep. I'm just going to sit here and chat for ages. I lack the discipline to go to bed. Yeah, right. And that's exactly the case. So, I'm definitely I'm gonna chug. Thank you, Squid. I'm gonna chug my drink. I definitely need my sleeps if I wanna make sure my throat is safe for Asagao, so there's my motivation. I'm gonna study how to protect my voice, and I'm gonna go to sleep. That's also very fair, Negapole. There are very few people who I've heard where I was like, your voice is awful, stop. So. West Coast, best coast. So I usually stream from 7-ish to 10 ish Pacific Standard Time. It varies a little bit based on like whether I take a nap before stream because I come back from work and usually I'm either happy or tired. So okay, I'm done. You guys are right. Thank you very much for coming out to the stream. Thank you to our new members of the fold, King of Archers. Thank you to everybody who donated, Connor and Squid. And thank you guys for watching, and also to the new follower to the fold. Welcome to the fold. Thank you guys for watching and hanging out with me. Oh, Nuptup, I'm so sorry. Oh no, Nuptup. Well, thank you for coming. And Dave, thank you for coming. I'm sorry, I need to go to sleep early today. I didn't take a nap, which is how I know I need to go to sleep early. Thank you guys for coming. No, it's okay. You can watch the VOD. This is a really good game, I promise. We'll still be playing it. It's not over. We'll be playing it on Thursday. Okay. Good night, guys. Thank you for coming. Love, Oscar.